Hello, hello, and welcome back to Minotaur Hotel. So we're back in the inn motel. You know how it is.
I can't believe you got drunk that quick.
I may have had a few too many, but I know damn well the kid really was drunk, and off fewer beers too. Still had to practice drinking for his size. He was carrying me. We were leaning on each other as we walked back to the hotel. He stood like a gentleman and shut the door while I went and collapsed backwards onto the bed, and just needed to lie down until I felt a little less dizzy.
I have to find that hotel. It's not about the inheritance.
Storm sat beside me.
Then what's it for?
For my dad and myself, but mainly for my own peace of mind. Grandpa worked for the colonel, my dad worked for a private security firm, and I worked for the federal government. That's our purpose. All we're really good for. Or at least, that's what I've been told all my life. I never told you, but I did what I did during my time on the force, did I?
No, but you didn't like me being too nosy, so I never asked.
Well, it's very simple, really. Are you familiar with the concept of panopticon? No. I hope you will explain. No? Very well. Where should I start? We don't need to sleep, us peacocks, and these feathers of ours aren't just for show. Each one is a fully functional eye. In fact, they're better than regular eyes. I can still see just fine through the feathers I pluck from myself, and sometimes I can even see through charms I've made with them. He went to the gauge in his ear, pinching and rubbing it. And they grow back too. Wouldn't you say we're the perfect security guards?
Where are you going with this?
Well, I worked for the police, but that doesn't mean what I did was right or even legal. To put it bluntly, my job was doing what we called mass surveillance. My superiors knew exactly what I was capable of. It's why they hired me in the first place, you know. And it started simple enough. See, a few years back they installed some fancy security system, a surveillance network for national security reasons, of course. But what's 10,000 cameras good for if no one's watching them? So that's what I did. Watch and report everything that went on. Does that sound right to you?
Well, I can't say I know much about law, but if you're not doing nothing wrong, then why should you worry? Good folk won't get affected by it.
Listen, no. It may sound acceptable at first, but what happens when you catch a few police officers doing something wrong?
You report it?
Oh, Storm. You delete it and make it look like like a computer error. That was the next step after I settled into the position. Man, what do you think happens when, let's say, someone on the force just gets a feeling that someone's doing something wrong? Do you go to a judge and get a warrant?
Yeah.
No. You come and get me to stalk him for you. And what happens when an officer's mad at his ex, or when an investigation needs a stronger case, so they ask you for a few recordings, or maybe they need a few recordings to disappear. I sat up. I didn't look at Storm, but I could feel his eyes on me. or when a politician, simply put, doesn't like that they were recorded somewhere they didn't want to be seen. Maybe doing something very wrong. Go on. He's finally seeing you for who you really are. He'd learn about it somehow, eventually. So might as well rip the band-aid off now. You'll be doing him a favor if he starts hating you too. He's not dumb. He knows what's good for him. He'll leave tonight, so just pretend you're passed out from the beer and let him. You know, they've been cases of police officers that what they do is keep a second illegal gun at home. Then 5 or so of them pull together the money to buy a stolen motorbike, and they keep it unplated so they can. Never mind. Let's not get into that. I think you understand now that my working for the police was far from exemplary. You want to know the best part, though? The funniest part, that is. Storm nodded. I could tell you I quit because it was too much, and I wanted to stick to my morals, but that'd be a lie. It's because they bought a fancy artificial intelligence system that would do my job at a fraction of the cost. Turns out computers are just better than magic. I did want to quit because it was wrong, you know. But that's the real reason. I was just on my way to being obsolete. And the pay really was nothing special either. That ugly squawk laugh again. And if you weren't enough of a deplorable piece of shit, you could kill anyone's eardrums with that. Storm stared down at his shuffling hooves. Keep going. Show him just how close he was to being pulled into your spiral. My grandpa was the only one in the family who didn't want to do this kind of business. That's why he kept chasing the hotel. He hoped it'd be his way out. He always told me to keep trying to do good. That's why I want to find it, to prove that I can do something right and good for once in my life. And if I can't, then it's right back to whatever job my dad wrangled for me next. Probably doing the same shit as before, but for a private firm. Go on, kid. I know what you're thinking. I'm a mess. I don't deserve to have you seeing me as your hero. You don't need to waste your time with me anymore. Just say what's on your mind. God damn you. So, you still think I'm a good person?
Why do you take the job?
Because everything else I tried failed, and I had bills to pay. I actually had a better job before all this mess. I tried to do good for a while, but it just kept going to shit again and again. So one day I just gave in to Dad and took the job offer he got for me. I could only remain unemployed for so long, you know. His fists were clenched. His brows were pursed in thought. Every breath he took was shallow and tense. What's the matter? You want to punch my lights out? Go on. It's the least I deserve from you.
How's that any different from me stealing to survive?
You wanted to stop. You just couldn't. Meanwhile, I only stopped because I had to. I was gonna be fired either way.
That doesn't matter. You did what you had to survive. And yeah, it was bad, but now what?
He let out a little huff, not quite angry, but lively with anxiety.
You're gonna feel sorry for yourself. Cry.
He grabbed my shoulder, rough, but I could feel his hand trembling.
Look at me, you piece of shit. You're so up your own ass with all of this bullshit about your grandfather, the hotel, and doing something right. But look at me.
He forced me to look him right in the eye, glaring but red and watery.
I was ready to die because my life was and always would always be hell. But then you came around, and in a single night, you gave me a future. After this is done, I'll be able to hold a job, go to school, maybe even get a degree or some shit. Ain't that good enough for you? What? You some emperor or something, and a little life like mine, don't matter one way or the other to you. You did a bunch of fucked up shit, sure, but you ain't doing it anymore, and I'm real, damn it. Helping others matters, and you helped me. I'm the living fucking proof you can do right. Maybe that ain't the hotel you were looking for, but if all you wanted was proof you could do something good, then you can stop your search. You have a real life Minotaur to vouch for you now. And if you feel so bad about that damn job of yours, then fuck. Like, listen to your own advice and go to school. Learn something for God's sakes. And for the love of all that's holy, stop with all the fucking bullshit. Just be normal for once in your life.
Before I could say anything, he pulled me forward and wraps his arms right around me, maybe just so he could, half yell into my ear.
And don't be a cunt when I'm only trying to be nice. Don't go moping about your, dad treating you like shit, and most of all, who the fuck calls his kid P? What the fuck, kind of name is that?
Storm released me from the hug, but kept hold of my shoulder.
I ain't falling for that. Oh, and that's why you're a sad cunt. You're just, you're just so stuck up your own ass. You won't even, tell people your fucking name.
He shook me. I must have been staring off into space. I forced myself to look at him and nodded. He was right, and this time I'd been moping and crying, and he stayed right by my side through all my bullshit. I sniffed and wiped my eyes, and swallowed hard so I could give him the apology he deserved. I really should just... Oh, no, you don't. You fucking asshole. No more bullshit. No more being sad, angry, gondamn, cunt, and no more, feeling sorry for yourself. You want to do right by him? You want to be the kind of mentor he deserves? Then pull your head out of your goddamn ass and listen to what he's trying to tell you, and what he's telling you this time. You're right.
Damn right I am.
Storm paced a few steps.
We're doing this the right way now. And no more sass and stupid mystery bullshit, you hear? I'm not Storm. That's just the nickname I was given when I tried joining the gang. My real name's Oscar. Of Astora.
Oh no, that's probably the reason. Oh my god.
What's yours?
I let all the air drift out of my lungs, let my entire body deflate and relax before my next big breath made me look back up at him. My grandpa called me Pedro.
Now that's the kind of normal name I wanted to hear. It suits you.
With introductions out of the way, we both allowed semi-shy awkwardness to wash over us, glancing to each other, then looking away, and then peeking from the corner of our respective visions. Moments like that are why I could be accused of avoiding earnestness. Where the hell do you even go from here?
I should have expected you to be called Oscar. Why's that?
'Cause you're a real prize.
Boss, you're fucking great.
Okay. It's about 8 a.m. Yo, I saw 8 a.m. recently. Not because I wanted to, but because I just couldn't fall asleep. I stared at the ceiling for 4 hours, not doing anything, and I'm just like, I can't sleep. And then I looked at my phone and it said 8 a.m. and I was like, wow, it's been a while since I've seen you. I had returned from eating some crackers in the restaurant and was ready to head out, but Storm was still in the bathroom. I could hear the shower and the clopping of his hooves on the tile floor.
Oscar, I made you some coffee. You almost done? Alright, just give me a minute.
I was checking over my notes when there was a knock on the door of the room. I got up to answer and was greeted by a nun. Oh, okay, so the one from that one day. Good morning. You are the one who called about Zazine. Oh, yeah, these names I don't know. The other day, yes. Ah, right. The day she came in to help her brother, the receptionist. I hardly got a good look at her back then, but I recognized her stern and dry voice. The nun looked much more put together than she had that morning, and she was holding a brick of cheese in her arms.
Yes, and how's he doing?
He's okay. He didn't die, thanks to you.
I'm sure he would have...
No, really, he could have died, and he's finally going to get himself into rehab, and I just wanted to thank you. Pay back the favor, you know. God knows, he ain't gonna. Thinks some angelic bird came to him when he was stoned to save him and tell him to stop. At least it might get him coming back to church. Anyway, I brought you this to show our gratitude. She brandishes the sizable mass of grease and fat and lactose. Okay. All wrapped up and nice and neat in a plastic Ziploc bag and at me. It ain't much, but maybe a tourist would appreciate a local delicacy as a souvenir.
I'd be delighted. I'm just really quiet. Glad I could help.
Really quite glad I could help, that's what it is. Yep. When I put my hands on the cheese block to accept it, however, she didn't let go. Her free hand shot up to mine and pulled me down closer. Listen, this is the real way I'm paying you back for my brother. I came here to warn you. Last night, there was a shootout at the Colonel's Manor. It was caused by an inheritance dispute, and I can tell you there are corpses. I have it on good authority that someone will come here looking for you. You ought to leave now, for your own safety. When she leaned back again, she smiled at me with eyes full of anxiety. I nodded.
Thank you for this.
My pleasure, city boy. My father knew your grandfather, actually. They were pretty good friends. It took me a while to recognize the resemblance. I'd say, come visit sometime, but considering what's happening now, don't come back.
Yeah.
Is the volume of the music just, like, significantly lower than usual? Interesting. Okay. You be safe, and make sure the beefcake you tote around stays safe, too.
I'll make goddamn sure of it.
She crosses her arms before saying goodbye. Oh, okay. Yeah, why was that? Why was the music like that? Is that the way it's supposed to be? Or was that my game being weird? I don't know. I never know with my computer. By the time Storm got out of the bathroom, I was shoving the plastic bagged block of cheese into my suitcase.
So, we're leaving. What? But don't we have to? Not anymore. We don't. I'll explain in the car, but we need to get the fuck out of here. Something dangerous is happening at the Colonel's, and we're heading into the city right now.
Oscar was stunned, but nodded. I tossed him my car keys.
Just finish gathering up our stuff and put it in the car. I'll go pay for the room and meet you there.
Oscar took a deep breath, squared his shoulders, and gave me another nod.
I'll take this now and then do a final sweep of the room, sir.
The kid damn near tore my suitcase right out of my hand, perhaps overeager or over-nervous from my lack of explanation, and stomped out through the doorway. He halted just outside, however, and felt around in his pocket, took something out of it, wiggled it with his fingers, and tossed it a handful little wire fragments out of his left shoulder. Only then did he continue stomping off to the car. I'm proud of you, Oscar. History just keeps repeating, doesn't it? Grandpa tried escaping from the hinterlands years ago, and that's how he found the Minotaur Hotel. And on that morning, I couldn't stop my heart from racing as I looked to the horizon, hoping it might reveal itself. But there was nothing save for the emptiness of the desert, stretching as far as the eye could see, and dotted with the husks of trees long dead. I was almost panicking when we left drowned Tapir, with all thoughts about the hotel running around, but a single look at Oscar was enough to put everything in order. I knew exactly what to do and where to go. Our destination was my apartment. I never told anyone where I lived, and I was careful to put a fake address when I checked, so I knew we were safe. Just as we were leaving, a few cloud of moths flew around, and that, too, brought me a measure of peace. I stepped on the gas and tore through the last stretch of the hinterlands. After all, I felt all its evil letting go of me. Did I allow myself to breathe easy? The kid took notice of it.
Pedro, what's gonna happen now?
We're going to my place. We'll be safe there.
But what about the hotel?
I don't know. Our safety comes first. I'll figure the rest out later. He looked down and twiddled his thumbs. Was he sad? Shouldn't he be happy to get out of this hellhole? Maybe his issue was not getting to say goodbye. You want to call your family. Tell them you're skipping town. He bit his lip.
No thanks. Shouldn't you tell Nini, though? She might get worried.
I unlocked my phone and handed it to Oscar. He navigated through my contact list and called. Hello? I didn't recognize the voice. I assume it was one of the granddaughters. Hi, it's me. I was there about a week ago to talk with Nini. Can I have a word with her for a minute, please? I hear some rustling. I assume she'd covered the phone with her hand and then was incomprehensible muttering. Hello. Nini can't talk right now. She's not well. She's having a medical emergency, and she isn't being herself right now. I could barely make out her voice yelling in the background. Where's my salt? This all tastes wrong. It burns. Everything is wrong. It's killing me. The tapir's eating me from inside out.
Did she just
say something about a tapir? Yep, she's been ranting about tapirs all... Who's that? Is that the peacock? A plate breaking as it hits the floor, wood being thrown around, a young lady's shriek, and then Nini's ragged breathing. It was you. You ruined everything. I was going to live forever, and you! The call disconnected. Oh. Right.
The fuck was that?
I don't know. This smells real bad. But there's no use in speculating about it right now. For now, we'd better focus on the road, and then...
And then...
we try again. I can plan another trip. I'll just have to be more discreet next time. Maybe a month or two to let things settle down and...
P!
No, it isn't safe, and wouldn't be for who knows how long. Forget about that damn hotel, you idiot.
Pedro!
Don't you have something better to do with your life? And then, let's just forget this whole hotel business, at least for a while. We can look into getting you into school, or a job. And a passport.
But what about your inheritance?
Fuck it. I stepped on the gas. Well, I don't know how well I did for Hinterlands 3, but oh well. I'll see you around, everyone.